welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. I'm Missy. I appreciate you guys that are coming back, really helps. If you wouldn't mind, if you're new and you kind of enjoy beauty content and things like that, I'd appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe down below. Really helps me out. Today, I thought I would do another full face of affordable makeup brands, and this one is a very well-known makeup brand, and I have quite a lot from them, so I probably won't be using everything in this basket, but I did pull everything that I own from them, and that is E.L.F. Cosmetics. As you can see, this guy is overflowing because I have used E.L.F. for years before they kind of became what they are now. I used to go and buy E.L.F. products from Dollar Tree with the white brushes and the white plastic packaging and things like that. Their quality has definitely improved over the years compared to what they used to be. And their customer service, because there was quite a while in the beginning that I did not purchase E.L.F. for a couple years because I had a bit of an issue with their customer service online at the time. But they have gotten so much better with that. Alright, now that I got you guys all nice and zoomed in, let me take my glasses off here. So, couple primer options today. Obviously, I'm not going to use them all because it'll just be way too many. But I want to show you the different primers that they have. Alright, so first up we have their well-known E.L.F. Putty primers. These were went viral, you know, for a while because they're technically like dupes for the Tatcha one. So that's why they got very popular. I have the Poreless Putty Primer, and then I have it in the Luminous in the bigger ones. And then in the mini, because I did get the mini set, I also have the Luminous, I have the matte, and then I have the Sea Bright E.L.F. Putty Primer. I have not used that one. My face tends to love vitamin C, but I don't think I'm going to use this one today. I think I'm going to use the standard original Poreless Putty. So keep that to the side here. And then we have their gripping primers. So first we have the Jelly Pop. This one has went viral all over the place multiple times from my understanding. I do like this one. This is my first time ever getting this one. I did try it once before this video, and I did like it, so I understand why people like it. But since then, they released the E.L.F. Power Grip Primer, this guy right here, and then they released it with 4% niacinamide as well. So I think for today, I'm just going to stick with the original again out of those two. And then I have, of course, this guy, the E.L.F. Halo Glow, which this, I mean, everybody knows is essentially a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, I think it's called. I've never owned the Charlotte Tilbury, but everyone and their mother has said it's a dupe for that. I have owned this in the past. This is a new bottle. I did own two other shades in this that I had to toss both, even though one was not open and the other one was, because they both within, I think it was 3 months or 6 months, smelled like rotten eggs. So I'm hoping this is not going to smell like that. Because if it is, I'm going to have to stop purchasing this product, because I don't do makeup enough for me to use the product up within 3 to 6 months. So I hate that though, because if it is like that, let me just open it up. But because if it is like that again, I hate that because the product itself is actually really good. It's one of my favorite luminous products. I love to use it on its own because it cancels out my redness and stuff. I got the shade Too Fair Light. I'm struggling with the little sticker that's on here. It's got a heck of a grip. Well, at least I know someone hadn't opened it in the store beforehand. Alright, so let's just give it a whiff. Okay, this one smells like it's supposed to. Hopefully it stays that way. But let's go ahead and start. I'm going to put the Poreless Putty Primer on first. And I'm going to use one of their brushes, because I do have some tools of theirs as well. Let me just grab it over here. This is their Putty Primer Applicator brush. This end you use to scoop out the putty, and this to blend it in. I love these brushes. I've bought multiple of them, and I even have a dupe for this, ironically. It's on Shop Miss A. It's the AOA brand. Let me see if I've got one back here I can show you. Yeah. It's a little bit bigger and a little bit fluffier of a brush. So, let me show you here. This is what they look like. As you can see, this one's more densely packed. This one's a little more fluffy. But for what I use them for, they both work pretty well. Alright, so let's just scoop out some product of the Putty Primer. And I'm just gonna kind of spread it across my face. And then I just take the brush, and with this one, I just kind of pat it in. Specifically around this area for me, because that's where my pores are more dominant. I do feel like this fills in kind of like my fine lines and wrinkle areas a little bit too, so that my foundation looks a little better. It doesn't settle as much. Okay. You can see, looks nice. Does a really good job, in my opinion, of blurring the pores. It can feel a little heavy, but I don't mind it too much. It's not like super oily or anything on me. And you guys know I'm picky about that. Alright, so now I'm going to apply the E.L.F. Power Grip Primer. And I'm just going to squirt it on my little brush here. And then I'm just going to dot all over my face. And then just kind of do the same packing motion I did with the putty. I just like using the brush. That way my hands don't feel sticky, and I don't have to worry about going to wash my hands in between applying products. I use this brush for all my primers now, pretty much. Okay. Alright, it is very tacky. So it is very good for gripping your makeup. It's one of my favorites. I know some people can take a product and like stick it to their face. I've tried that once. It didn't really work. Let me see. Because I usually don't put enough on for that to happen. I mean, it kind of like is sticking a little bit. Yeah, see, there you go. So it is grippy. But it's not like super sticky, you know? Alright, and now we're going to go in with the E.L.F. Halo Glow in Fair Light. This is the Halo Glow Liquid Filter. And I just use the doe foot all over. I grab a little bit more. I love this for a glowy primer. And like I said, I love it when I don't want to put a whole lot on my face. And I'll just slap this on, even without a primer a lot of times. Just to like make my skin tone look more even and glowy. Let me just grab my mirror so I can see what I'm doing a little bit more. As you can see, it gives the skin a nice luminous finish. And I'm not going to do it today, but when I want a little more coverage of my redness, I'll go a little more right here with more product in these areas. But I'm going to do a foundation today, so I don't want to like cake on all this product. But I mean, I love all three of these primers for different reasons, so I would definitely recommend all three. Like I said, if you want a pore filling one, the E.L.F. Poreless Putty is good. If you want a gripping one, the E.L.F. Power Grip is good, or the Jelly Pop. And then if you want a glowy base, or just a base that's glowy and kind of evens the skin tone a little bit, definitely the Halo Glow. Now what I forgot to do, because I have the color correctors, I do have a green color corrector from them. I'll use this in another video since I forgot to use it today. And I also have their peach color corrector, and I have their blue color corrector. The peach color corrector I'm going to put under my eyes right now to kind of help with dark circles under here. And I do this, I do my color correcting before I do my actual foundation and concealers and stuff. Let's try it out. I'm very picky about my color correcting concealers for under my eye, because that's kind of like my main, I don't want to say flaw, but it's definitely one that sticks out more for me that I like to cover. It's definitely a lighter peach than I normally use, but give it a try here. Let me see if I have a brush that I can use from their sets for this. Alright, so I'm going to use their dual-ended complexion duo brush. I'm going to blend it in with the smaller side. I'm just going to pack. Alright, it's not as good as others I use, and I think that is simply because it's a lighter peach on me. So I'm going to add some more, but normally with the ones I like to use, which is sometimes the Jeffree Star Peach Concealer, the Tarte Shape Tape Peach one is one of my favorites, but the one I use the most is the Sigma Duo. Get it to focus. The Sigma Duo. As you guys can see, I hit pan the other day in it. So yeah, I use them a lot. This is their Spectrum Color Correcting Duo in light medium, if you're interested in that. But this is not a horrible color corrector. It's just not the best I've ever used. Alright. Now let's move on from that, and I'm going to do my brows now. So I have a couple brow products. Again, I probably won't use everything today, but I want to show you the options that they have. So first up, we have their Shape and Stay Brow Pencil, and I believe it's just like a wax clear. So I love the Essence Brow Wax Pen to use before I put any other products on my brows. So I picked this up to see if maybe it was a good option in place of that one, because I cannot find that one on Essence's website anymore. I'm guessing they stopped selling it, I would assume. Let me just take the spoolie here. I'm gonna brush my brows up a little bit. Alright, so I'm just gonna run this through and go against the grain of my brows. Okay, so far it's feeling kind of similar to the other one. And then I just kind of take it and go back the other direction. This one is a little more smooth than the Essence one, but it does seem to be giving me a very similar effect. Alright, let me brush up my brows because that's going to be my true test for me. Alright, well, it's okay. The Essence one gives me a bit of a stiffer brow, which is what I'm looking for. This one does not, so that's disappointing. I thought it was going to feel kind of the same. Alright, well, I'd probably pass on this next time for my personal preferences. The other things I have, though, is I have their Brow Lift, which this is supposed to be a dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze. I don't really use products like this. I think I got this like free with my order or something. And I think I used it once, yeah, because I've dipped into it. And if I remember correctly, I did not like this. It was just, as you guys can see, I have very, very thin brows. If I had thicker brows, I think I would like these type of products more. And it's nothing against E.L.F. It's just, I don't like these type of products. So I'm not going to use this. I'm going to pass this on to like a friend or a family member who would get better use from it. But I wanted to show you that, you know, that's an option for brow products. And then I just recently bought their brow laminating gel, right? So let me read the directions on this, because usually I tend to I like to use the brow gels after and not before. Okay, get that laminated look without stiffness with the strong hold clear drying brow gel. The dual-ended applicator makes it easy to sculpt, shape, and set brows with precise application. Using the precision spoolie, apply a small amount of gel onto clean, dry brows. Brush hairs back for it to fully cover with the comb and sculpt brows, then gently press down with the brush to set hairs in place. Okay, so it says I can set brows with it, so I'm going to use it after I do my brow tinted brow gel and brow pencil. So the only brow pencil I have is the E.L.F. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. I'm unsure on the shade, and it is not on the pencil, I don't think. Hold on. I have neutral brown, which is not exactly my shade. Typically I go for a dark shade, like a dark brown to a black, so this may not really match with hair color and stuff, but I'm going to use it today. So let's just draw on my brows like I normally do. Okay. Alright, it's a little darker than I thought it was going to be. Still not as dark as I like to make my brows though. And I am pressing a little harder to get more of the pigment off. I think I bought this shade specifically for when I want to wear my lighter brown hair wigs. Okay, so I do like the thin precision tip, but it is not my favorite brow pencil. I prefer the LA Girl pencils over this one, and I prefer the Essence brow pencils over this one. I just get a better hair-like strokes from those. I've never tried the NYX one, but I hear good things about that one, so I do want to try it. But let me finish this one, and then I'll do the other side, and I'll be right back to use some more products with you guys. Alright, I'm back, and I filled in the brows. Yeah, it's an okay brow pencil. I definitely was able to use it. I did like the thin precision tip of it. Like I said, not a fan of the color, but that's because I'm used to having like a darker brow. It was a little stiffer than what I'm used to. I like my brow pencils to have a bit of a creamier consistency. Not super creamy, but not super dry. It's kind of like in between. And this one, it's not as bad as the Milk Cosmetics one I used, but it's not far off. So I would definitely skip that one the next time I go to the store. But I do have their Wow Brow Gels, the tinted brow gels. I have neutral brown and what's this other color? Oh, both of them are neutral brown. So I'm just going to see which one has been used here. It looks like I've used both of them. Alright, so let's just grab this one. This one looks like older packaging. Let me see if there's anything left in it. Because I did used to use this a lot on days when my hair was lighter and I wanted to just run some tint through my brows. Alright, let me grab the other one because this one is dried out now. So it's going to go in the garbage. There we go. I'm just going to run it through, disperse some more color. Again, still not my favorite shade, but I mean, that's just me buying and having the wrong shade to what I use now, because these are neutral brown shades, and I'm more of a soft black, dark brown to black shade for my brows now. So that's what it's looking like. And it got a little messy on this one. Okay. So it's not bad. It's not a super wet formula, so if you like a drier formula for your brows, you'll like it. Again, I'm someone that kind of likes that happy medium of in between. I know I sound like Goldilocks right now. It's like too wet, not too wet. That's what she said. Anyways, but oh lordy. But yeah, if you like a drier formula for your brow gels, I think you'd like this one because it's not super wet or anything like that. Not really my favorite. Okay, so last brow product, and this is their newer brow gel. I think it only comes in clear. I'm not 100% sure though, but I think so. Alright, so this is what it looks like. So it kind of has this brush on the end, which I'm unsure how to open. There is the product itself. Let me see how to get the top off. What in the world? I am so confused. Alright, let me go try to figure out how to get this off, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, and I feel like so silly right now because I was trying to pull at the wrong spot, but to get it open. Oh Lord. So let's just apply the product through the brow, and I'm using it as a setting brow gel. I'm gonna see how this feels. I'm pretty sure in the directions it said it wasn't supposed to feel stiff, which is a big pet peeve of mine. That's one reason I did not like the Melt Cosmetics one, was it was too stiff. So let me use the little brush and a little comb to kind of like shape here. I like to try anything that makes my brows look fuller than what they actually are, but I am picky about it. I do not like for it to be sticky or stiff. Okay. Alright, so right now I kind of like it because it's looking kind of nice. I like that. It's not feeling like super sticky or super stiff on my face. So yeah, so far I like this. I'll definitely have to try it some more. This is kind of a first impression because I've never used this before, but so far I like it. I think my brows are looking decent. Like I said, I'm not the best. You guys know I'm not the best at doing my brows, but I like it. I think it looks nice. Okay, so before I move on to foundation, I have E.L.F's new sunscreens. I have the spray and I have the liquid, or lotion as you want to call it. So it's Invisible Sunscreen 35 Broad Spectrum Sun Protection plus Blurring Primer. Okay, water resistant for 80 minutes. And then the spray is Broad Spectrum 45 Sun Protection plus Setting Spray. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do the lotion. I may use this one later, but we'll see. Alright, so helps prevent sunburn if used as directed with other sun protection measures. Decreases the risk of skin cancer and early skin aging caused by the sun. Apply liberally 15 minutes before sun exposure. After 80 minutes of swimming or sweating, immediately after towel drying, at least every 2 hours. Sun protection measures. Spending time in the sun increases your risk of skin cancer and early skin aging. To decrease this risk, regularly use a sunscreen with broad spectrum SPF value of 15 or higher and other sun protection measures, including limit time in the sun, especially from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Wear long sleeve shirts, pants, hats, and glasses. Children under 6 months of age, ask a doctor. Alright, so I'll be honest. I'm someone who grew up in the 80s and the 90s. I never did it, but I do have people around me who did it, who would lay out with the whole aluminum foil things and in just baby oil or coconut oil on their skin, which we now know is not the best thing to do. But I will say I was never the best at applying sunscreen daily, as we know now that you really should. And I worked summer camp because I used to be a before and after school teacher for years, so I worked summer camps for several years in my late teens, early 20s. When I was at the pool, you know, I did apply my sunscreen, and you know, because you know we had to put them on the kids, so I was giving the example, you know, you wear yours too. But I'll admit, you know, outside of that, I really wasn't applying sunscreen unless I went to the ocean or the pool or anything like that. So, but now, in the last couple years, I've started wearing a sunscreen every day on my face. I need to get better at putting it on my arms and stuff though. So let's try this one out. This is the Invisible Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 35 and is also a blurring primer. So that's nice when it's like a 2-in-1. I'm going to shake it up because it's been sitting for a little bit. See if it has that sunscreen smell. Oh, it might have a seal. Let me see. Yes, it does. Okay, nice to know. Oof, okay. That came out very oily. It kind of smells like coconut. Ooh. Okay. Alright, I'm not sure if it was just because mine settled, because it kind of is feeling very oily. I don't like that, especially since I have oily skin. So I'll have to try it again throughout the week and let you guys know, because I mean it's very liquidy in here. I don't know if you guys can hear. Currently I'm using the ZC SPF 50 that I got in my Ice Cream Beauty box, and it's more of a lotion consistency, and I like that better because this just feels greasy. I don't like that. Yeah. I feel like I just slathered coconut oil on my skin. Alright, moving on. Let's do foundation. So, I have talked about for years with you guys that my Holy Grail foundation is my favorite out of all foundations, is the E.L.F. Flawless Satin Foundation in the shade Sand. And I just stumbled upon this in a Dollar Tree, and I was like, I'll try it, see if I like it or not, because you know, sometimes the shades in Dollar Tree are not really the shades that sell the most. So I was like, I'll take it home. It looks like it's close enough to my shade, but it's actually like my perfect shade, ironically, and I love the way it looks. However, I am not going to use this one today because I have used it multiple times, and I know how I feel about it, but I just wanted to show you it is an option, and they have lots of shades in it. But they have other foundations now as well. So I got their two newest ones, which is their E.L.F. Camo hydrating version. I did the CC cream, the hydrating CC cream, and these are dupes for the IT Cosmetics ones. I did try the original. I did not like it. it always looked cakey and thick on me no matter what I did. I tried to just apply a tiny amount. I tried to mix it with my moisturizer. So when I saw they had a hydrating version, I thought I would give it a try. I have not tried it yet. I have, however, already tried the E.L.F. Soft Glam Satin Foundation, and the original shade I bought was Light Warm, 24 Light Warm, and it was too yellow on me. I did do a video on it with a wear test in the Florida summer heat. If you guys want to check that out on my channel, I'll try to link it in the cards too. I did buy another shade because I messaged E.L.F., or no, I commented on E.L.F.'s post and asked them, you know, what shade I would be conversion wise, since this was my shade in this one, and they told me 34 medium cool. My only thing is I don't think this is gonna be as good of a match because I did swatch it a little bit and it did seem a little darker than the sand shade, so I may end up having to do a mix between these two at some point to test it out. But I'm not going to do that today because I want to try a foundation I have not tried yet. So I'm going to use the hydrating one, the IT Cosmetics Hydrating CC Cream. Alright, so let's just open it up. It says full coverage color correcting meets a dewy hydrated finish in this multitasking dream cream, infused with a blend of tremella mushroom, hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, and vegan collagen. This hydrating formula plumps skin appearance, plus helps protect with broad spectrum SPF 30. So I'm gonna definitely be covered on my SPF today. Directions: apply 1 to 2 pumps to clean skin using the E.L.F. Complexion Duo Brush for an airbrush finish. Use as directed. Alright, so I got the shade Light 280 in with neutral warm undertones because that's what it said when I did the color match, find my shade, based on the sand shade. Alright. I want to love this because I know a lot of women who are in my age range tend to love the CC creams, but it just, everything I tried on the original, it was just too cakey looking on me. It's settled in everything. Let me grab my little palette to squirt this on. I talked about these before in a video. I got these from Shop Miss A, the AO Studio. If you're someone like me who you don't want to squirt it on your hand or on your brush, I really like these. So I'm going to squirt out 1 to 2 pumps like it said. It's taking me a little bit where it's new. Actually, let me make sure it doesn't have a seal on it, where I'm sitting here just pumping. It did not. Okay. Alright. So I pumped out a little more than 2 pumps, but not much. So this is what it looks like. We'll see how I did on the shade match because it's looking a little yellow. Alright, so I'm going to use the brush, the Complexion Duo brush like it said. I'm just tapping it, you know, kind of all across the whole palette first. Alright, so let's just buff it in, I guess. It does a very good job at covering redness. I mean, it's supposed to be full coverage, so I got a little bit too much on this side. I will say I'm already liking the finish of this better because it's hydrating. So it's got more of a glowy finish as opposed to a matte finish. I think I'm just someone who prefers a satined matte finish of foundations, to be honest with you, because every time I try a matte foundation, I don't like the way it looks on me. I still have a decent amount of product still on there because I was trying to make sure I did not grab too much on the brush. I will say that I do like how this brush applied it, but again, I think, so I have very textured skin. My lights tend to drown it out or smooth it out. I'll see if I can kind of get a little closer. I will say the shade match is a little too warm for me. But see, it shows, it clings to my texture. And I think that's simply because it's a full coverage foundation. Because I'm more of a light to medium coverage foundation. More medium. I'm going to take my sponge here from Glamlight. Actually, no, I have a E.L.F sponge I can use. Where'd it go? Alright, so I have an E.L.F sponge I can use. It's a little wonky because it got bent up in the package. Because I got it in a, what do you call it? An advent calendar, so it kind of got bent up and it hasn't fixed its shape. But I'm just gonna kind of go over this with the sponge because it helps sometimes when it looks very textured on me. Yeah, it's definitely not my shade. As I'm looking at the back here, and you can see the vast difference. It's too dark. Maybe if I was like self-tanning, it would be closer to a shade for me, so. But I can kind of help that with some concealer and stuff, I guess. Alright, yeah, I just, even though this one has the glowier, more luminous finish, I don't like the way it looks on my skin. I just don't. It just clings to my texture. And I hate the way it looks. Like, I love the way the Soft Glam looked, and I love the way the original satin finish foundation looked. Again, this is full coverage, so I'm guessing that's probably why I don't like it. So, just not for me. I thought I would give it another try in a different finish, but yeah, it's just not my cup of tea. So I'll pass that along to someone else in my family and friend group and see if they want it. But let's move on to concealer. And I believe all I have is, okay, so I have the E.L.F Camo Concealer. This is a matte finish in Fair Beige. That one's going to be really light, but it may help because where the foundation is a little too dark. And then I have the Putty Color Correcting Eye Brightener infused with squalane and hyaluronic acid. So I thought I'd try it out too. It says, awaken your under eyes with illuminating pearls and color correcting tones. The medium coverage Putty Balm formula brightens the appearance of dark circles and creates a smooth canvas for concealer. Directions: gently pat into under eye area with fingertips and blend outward. Follow with concealer. Okay, so I got light medium with the brightener. Alright, just gonna, somehow there's powder all over it. Alright, I'm gonna open it up. That's what it looks like, just a pot concealer essentially. I'm gonna run my ring finger in there, and I'm just gonna take it right along here. Ooh, definitely helped more with the color correcting and the brightening. Yeah, I like that. See, I don't have it on this side, so you see this side looks a little more tired. This side looks a little more bright and awakened. Okay, nice. I like this. I grab some more for the other eye. Concentrate it mostly in this beginning area of my eye, and then just kind of blend out. Yeah, I really like that. This is gonna be one that kind of goes on my desk for like every day, since it has the color correcting properties and the brightening. Yeah, I really like this. Nice. Okay, so let's try the Camo concealer now. And I think this is supposed to be pretty close of a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape, which I hope, because I love my Tarte Shape Tape. I do think I got way too light of a color though. I mean, I like a bright under eye, but not quite that bright. I'm just going to apply it to all my areas I like to highlight. I'd say this is a full coverage concealer. It kind of looks like it. Alright, I'm going to take the sponge and blend out the areas on my face. Oh yes, that's way too light. Oh boy. Okay, and I used too much. It's not too bad. I'll have to try it with my actual shade of the foundation though, because I get a feeling it's not gonna work there. I think it's just working with this because I got too dark of a foundation shade. I'm gonna use the dual-ended brush again for the eyes, and then I'll go back in with a sponge. You definitely don't need much with this concealer. I really could have gone with a lot less under my eyes. Okay, the under eyes are definitely looking super bright today. Okay. Alright. I do like the concealer. Like I said, I need a different shade. But the coverage on it is great. Let's move on to bronzer. Specifically a cream bronzer. I believe I only have one shade of the cream bronzer. I'm double checking. I have lots of the Putty blush, luminous and not luminous. Okay, yeah. So I have I have the E.L.F. Putty Bronzer in the shade Tan Lines. So let's grab, I believe I have the Putty Bronzer brush. Yes, I have their Putty Bronzer brush. We're going to try it out today. I have used this bronzer before in the past. I'm really hoping it's not dried out though, because I haven't used it in a really long time. Okay. Alright, so let's just tap it in. Okay. I did have to kind of dig in mine a little bit though, because it was drying out. It like hardened across the top, but I just kind of swirled in it and it brought it back to life. Okay. Like I said, I've used this bronzer before in the past, and it's a good bronzer. To my cheek areas now. I do like this brush. It's a lot smaller than I would use for bronzers, but it is working quite nice. I mean, it is designed to be used with this product, so. Alright. I'm just kind of blend it out. Nice. I like that brush too. Nice bronzer. I enjoy it. Have for years now. Alright, now I have a lot of blush options. So I have their liquid Halo Glow cushion tip applicator liquid blushes. Oops, the beauty ones. These are essentially dupes for the Charlotte Tilbury ones. I'll probably use these today since I have not used them yet. I've been holding on to them, waiting to do this video. I do have all of the Putty blushes though, and I do love them. Hence the reason I have all of them. I have the luminous and the matte versions. I have Bali. Hey guys, sorry about that. So the batteries I have, they're like the off-market batteries. They only record for so long and cut off. So it cut me off and I'm not sure where we left off. But I was basically telling you that I have several blush options. I have the dupes for the Charlotte Tilbury ones, the beauty ones, and then I have all the Putty blushes. That's not even all of them. I have the luminous and the regular. I do love those. I've used them for years, hence the reason I own so many of them. But today, for this video, I'm going to use the wands because I've never used them. So give me 1 second here. I'm running out of space on my desk for everything. Okay. So as far as the blushes go, I have Oh, well, so I didn't realize that apparently I have the contour wands as well. I'll save these for another video since I forgot to use them today. Like I said, I have a whole bunch of E.L.F stuff because I love to try their products. So I'm just going to set these to the side with the color corrector to use in another video. But as far as the blushes go, I have the shades where is the shade? I know it's on here somewhere. Well, I cannot seem to find it, but I have two shades. Maybe it's on the applicator itself. I have Berry Radiant, and I have Candlelight, or Candlelit, sorry, Candlelit. I'm going to try Berry Radiant, so let's just try it out. Do I need to twist it or anything? I already see one thing I don't like. It doesn't have like the twist on off part, because I've found that typically when they don't have that, they leak product. Alright, so I squeezed it up on the tip there. Okay, I didn't squeeze it up far enough. Squeeze some more. Okay, there we go. I'm going to just put a dot here and a dot here. This is a darker berry toned blush, and I am going to use, where is it? I'm going to use the Putty blush brush for this, because I feel like it'll work well for it. Okay, this does have a luminous finish to it, so if you don't like glowy blushes, alright, I went light-handed because I was afraid it was going to be too dark, but it looks like it's going to be a decent shade. Excuse me. Alright. This is very pretty. I love that. Especially for this time of year. It's a pretty shade for this time of year. You can see it's got that berry undertone. Alright, just for kicks, I'm going to put the Candlelit shade over top to try it out too. Okay. Definitely a lighter shade. Pretty. Nice. Alright. Now, let's move on to liquid or cream highlighters. So, again, not that I really need one because these blushes kind of have their own glow to them. So I could really just stop here, but for the sake of trying products, I'm not. I'm gonna put some more on. And I believe I only have one highlighter to try. Yes. Alright, so I've already used this. This came with their, when they re-released the E.L.F. Jelly Pop primer, it came with this stick highlighter. I do really like this for every day. I will say that it stays tacky, so you do have to set it with a little bit of powder, otherwise your hair and stuff sticks to it. But I do like it for an everyday highlighter. So there's that. I do think it was limited edition though, so I don't know if it's available anymore. But I do have another one of the highlight ones, and I got this shade Champagne. So let's try it out. I'm gonna apply essentially 2 dots to each side. I do love a good champagne tone highlight for every day. That's my favorite. That's why I picked that shade. And I'm just gonna take my little blush brush that I used, but I'm gonna use their little color switch that I picked up and just kind of swirl it a little bit, get a little bit of that blush pigment off. And let's go in with this highlight. Ooh, ooh, that's pretty. I like that. Okay. That is nice. It is not like a super sparkly highlight or anything like that. So if you're looking for glittery highlights, I wouldn't recommend this one. But if you're looking for a good glowy daily one, I like it. It's good for that. Really pretty. Nice. Alright, so these 3 I'm definitely enjoying right now. Like I said, the only pet peeve, and we'll see for me over time, is the fact they don't have a locking mechanism. Because a lot of times when they don't have the locking mechanisms and you store them, it tends to seep out product. So there is that. Moving on though. Now I'm going to show you the options I picked up for powder, bronzer, highlight, and blush. I am someone who tends to enjoy going back over with powders for my blush and highlight and contour and all that stuff. But I know that's not for everybody, but I do want to show you these options in case you're more of a powder person. Alright, so let me just, I'm going to cut the side open here. Oh my goodness. Definitely make sure that you know no one has been in it. Alright, there's that one. Let's do this one. I did pick these up at my Kohl's when they were transforming into the Sephora's inside. And their beauty sections they were putting on sale. So I did get these pretty cheap during that time frame. I'm not sure if these are still available on the websites or not. I think they are. If they are, along with everything else, I'm going to try and remember when editing to put the prices up of things so you guys can see how much each item costs. I tried to do that for these videos. This is definitely going to be one of the longer ones because there's so many more products. But so I picked up the powder contour palette. This is what it looks like. So you have some kind of like banana and translucent setting powders in there, and these light color blushes, or not blushes, light color contours. And then I picked up the powder blush palette in light, and this is what it looks like. Definitely a lot lighter shades than I'm used to, but let's go in with the contour palette first, and let me see what I have here. Liquid blush. Well, I didn't realize I had a liquid blush brush. Oh well. don't really have a brush that I want to use for that. So let me grab one. I'm going to use this one from BH Cosmetics. This is from one of their brunch collections, I believe it is. This is the #1 brush. And I'm going to go into this, it's a bit darker contour shade to go over my cream bronzer. You know what? I think I'm going to mix the two because that's looking kind of muddy on me. Yeah, so let's do that. I'm going to mix the two together instead. See if I can fix that a little bit. Do a little down the side of the nose. A little under here. Let me take a look in the mirror. So I definitely have to mix because the first shade was too muddy looking on me because it was a little bit too dark. So that's why I'm going in with my sponge to kind of absorb some of that product. Okay, but mixing the two was a lot better for me. I will say this is not going to fit like everyone's skin tone. Somehow I took a little chunk out of it right there. And it looks like there is a powder highlight in here and then a little bit of like a, if you wanted to like sharpen your contour, I don't really do that. So you could do that with this shade right here, or you could use it under your eyes if you wanted, but I'm not going to do that today. If I do not have another powder highlight, then I'll go back in and I'll use this. So I'm unsure right now if I do or not. Alright, let's move on to the blush. So it looks like you have 2 mattes and 2 luminous blushes in here. So I think what I want to do is I think I want to mix this blush, which is the matte, with this luminous blush down here. So I'm just gonna, again, I'm gonna go in with the same brush, but I'm gonna go into a little switch. And I love that it's like a smaller compact one that I can take with me. And let's just go in with that matte shade first. Yeah, those are very pigmented. Oops. I was not expecting it to be that pigmented because it looked kind of muted in the pan. Alright, I'm going to go into that luminous one over top. Alright, they're pretty. If you like powder blushes, they're just kind of like your standard matte and luminous ones. I enjoy it. It's not one I'm going to reach for all the time, but I do think it's nice as an option. Alright, let's move on. And let me see if I have a powder highlight in here. Alright, I do not. So I'm going to go back in to that contour palette, and I'm going to use that highlighter that's in here. I will say they're a little difficult to open. I do not have a highlighting brush, so I'm going to grab one of mine. Alright, I'm going to use this one from E.L.F. I got this in a Ipsy icon box, I believe it was. Just dig into that light colored highlight. Just put it over. Ooh, that's a nice combo with that champagne. That's pretty. I think that would be pretty as an inner corner eye highlight too. Yeah, I like that. It's pretty. Okay. Alright. Nice little palettes. Alright. Now, let's see. I think I have some setting powder I need to try. And I did pick up their puffs, the minis and the bigger one to try. I also have their Camo powder foundation in light 210N. I may use it as well, maybe. Alright, yeah, so we are to that point, setting everything down. Okay, so I have the E.L.F. Halo Glow Setting Powder. It says it sets makeup and creates a soft focus luminous finish. So you guys know I love my NYX High Glass in light, which it's discontinued. You no longer get it. I actually hit pan on it a little bit the other day as well. You can guys kind of see right there, because I use it every time I do my makeup. And I actually started buying this because you guys know Betty Jean or Batty Bean over here on YouTube. I love her content. She's one of my favorite content creators, and she used this, and I just happened to pick one up at my local Big Lots when they had got them in, and I love how my makeup looks every time I use this. So I went back and I bought like 3 or 4 more. So I'm glad I did, since it's discontinued now. But she now uses this from E.L.F. And she said it's pretty close to it. It's not an exact dupe for it or anything, but she does say she enjoys it quite a lot as well. It is a loose format. Let me change my battery and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back and battery is changed out. But what I was saying is Batty Bean loves the NYX High Glass, and now she uses the E.L.F. Halo Glow Setting Powder for a luminous finish. The only difference is the High Glass is pressed and this is not. This is a loose powder, so. But I love her makeup style, so anytime that she kind of recommends anything, I usually like it as well. I mean, I don't buy everything she recommends, but there's quite a few I've bought based on her recommendations. So if you've never checked out our channel, I'll try and link it down below if you guys want to check her out. I'm just going to take the seal off of this. Alright, so I am just going that's kind of funny. Their cap actually says, pour powder here for Halo Glow. I've never had one do that. I typically don't like to do that though, but I'm going to do it today. Okay, let me go back in with my sponge here. And I actually do not want a luminous finish under my eyes, so I'm going to go back into that contour palette, and I'm going to grab a setting brush. Oh my goodness, I'm just knocking everything over now. I'm going to use this one from Lovecraft Beauty. This is their Precision Setting 2. I'm going to go into this shade right here. It's essentially like a banana powder. And let me just kind of take that across there. Okay. Now, I'm going to go in with the Big Puff. And I have the little puffs as well. I meant to use that for my under eye, and I forgot, but let me just take it and just kind of tap out what's already under there. Okay. These are definitely a lot thicker than what I use under my eyes. But I do like it. It's nice. It fits right where I need it to. Okay. Nice. Alright, so now let's go in with the bigger puff. And I'm going to dip into that Halo Glow setting powder. I'm going to tap it on my hand just to kind of more evenly disperse it. And let's go all over. It's a nice puff too. Grab some more off the back there. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, okay. Now, so typically what I do is I will go in with a more mattifying powder first, because I do have oily combo. I get very oily around my forehead and kind of this area, but mostly up here. And I'll do that first, and then I'll go in with a glowy setting powder. I do want to see how this holds up, since it is a luminous setting powder in in a loose form. My brain's not working today, but I do like it. I do see why she compared it to the NYX High Glass, because it does give that same glowy effect. I just wish it was in a pressed form versus a loose form, because I do like to go in with like a fluffy brush instead of a powder puff normally. For that, I usually do the powder puff for the mattifying primer. Okay. But I like this so far. That's one reason why I don't like to put it in the lid, because then when I flip it back over, it makes a mess. Alright, so I think I'm to the point where I can do my eyeshadow now, and then, you know, mascara and all that stuff, and set everything down. I really like this puff though. Oops, I am just knocking everything all over the place because I don't have as much room on my desk today. So I'm going to have to grab another mirror because I just knocked my mirror down. So I have some setting sprays that we can use, and I think what I want to do, since I have, looks like 3 different setting sprays. Yes. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to use their original one that I used to use several times. This is the Makeup Mist and Set. So I'm going to spray that on now. And then I'm going to go over with my sponge, kind of like I do when I use my MAC Fix Plus. I'm just going to use this instead for it today. Okay. It is a nice setting spray. It's not like groundbreaking or anything, but it is a nice setting spray. And the other two I'll show you here in a minute that I have is the Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. I'll be honest, I just picked this up because I love the smell of coconut. That's really the only reason I picked it up, so I don't know how it performs. I haven't used it yet. And then I picked up their new Biphase one, which is the Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. So I think I'm going to use this one again today. As you can see, the Biphase, the two different products, two different types of ingredient, and then you just shake it up to mix it together to use. So I think I'll probably set my face with that today. But let's go ahead and move into eyeshadows. I believe I have an eye primer. I will save the E.L.F. powder foundation for another video. I don't really wear powder foundation all that often. A lot of times I'll use it as like a finishing powder sometimes, but on its own I tend not to use it because it's just a little drying looking to me. It's not really what I go for. As you guys can see, I like a more glowy finish, and these give more matte finishes. But the one or two times I've used it, it was a decent powder foundation. So there's that. But let me find my eye primer here. I may have already gotten rid of it because I did use it in a video and I did not like it. There it is. Alright. So spoiler alert, I don't like this primer. So it's the E.L.F. Lock It Down Eyeshadow Primer. If you like slippy primers, like Urban Decay Primer Potion, or the ColourPop eyeshadow primer, you will like this because that is the type of primer this is. I, however, do not like those type of primers. I like more of Anastasia Beverly Hills, a Glamlight, a Sigma shadow stick, or not shadow stick, eyeshadow primer stick, things like that. But, you know, sticking with the E.L.F. theme, we're going to use this eye primer today. My sister typically likes these eyeshadow primers more than me, so usually I'll give her first dibs on it, and then if she doesn't want it, then I ask my other family members if they want it. That being said, anything that I say that I'm going to be passing on to someone else or declutter, please do not ask me to give you makeup. This makeup is used, and I do not feel comfortable giving used makeup to people that are not close to me. Anything that I have new, I tend to donate to shelters and things like that, just simply because I'm not a huge channel, and I have not got to the point where I could do like bigger giveaways yet, because I do pay for everything you see me use on this channel, with the exception of one mascara that I happen to sign up for Maybelline that I got for free. That is the only thing I have ever not paid for on this channel. Let me blend this in. I'm just going to blend it in with my finger because I can't find my concealer brush that I use. Actually, no. What am I doing? I'll use the little dual-ended brush. There's still some residual concealer on there though, so I did get a little bit concealer right much. It's fine by me. It'll help me kind of like my eye base a little bit better today. Okay, so again, don't really like this eye primer, just using it for the sake of the video today. But if you like Urban Decay Primer Potion type primers, you'll like that primer. Alright, so I have a couple eyeshadows to choose from. And I have 3 of their little bite-sized palettes. I have I Love You, a Latte. This is an all matte palette, very neutral with warm tone over here. I have Rose Water, which is your nice pinky rosy tones with this kind of like, it looks like a chocolate brown, but maybe with a red undertone and some sparkles in there. And then I have Berry Bad. I got this one in a advent calendar. I have never used ColourPop. I have never used E.L.F's Bite Size shadows, but I've heard good things about them. I think I want to start with the I Love You, a Latte palette. Again, it is sealed. Peel here, okay. Alright, so let's start with that, and I do have some eyeshadow brushes over here. And I'm going to take this big crease brush, and I'm going to go into this shade right here and set down that eye primer, since it is not the type that I typically use. Ooh, there's a lot of kick up in the pan with that one. So let's just set my whole lid with that shade. So my brows do feel a little stiff now, but it's not horrible. Alright, now I'm going to go into the shade right here. This lighter shade. I'm going to put that all in my crease. Again, quite a bit of kick up in the pan with these. I don't mind that, but I know some people do. Just going to put that in my crease. And just building it up. It's just a nice neutral transition shade. So how have you guys been? Did you have a good weekend? I did. Did a little bit of shopping. My husband and my sister went to our local arcade here. Went and played some games. I had walked so much from shopping that I didn't feel like going. But I have been there multiple times in the past. I'm pretty sure there's vlog footage of me going there, I think for my birthday last year. If you guys want to see that footage. Alright, now, I think I don't want to use the berry one today. I'm going to go in with this darker brown here. that. Yeah, I'm going to put that on my inner and my outer. I always say it backwards when I'm doing an inner and outer part of my lid. I'm going to try to do a halo eye today. Again, where I have hooded eyes, I bring it up higher in my crease, or higher than my crease, I should say, because otherwise you won't see it when I close my eyes, or open my eyes. Oh my goodness, I cannot talk. Lots of cake up in the pan, again, with that shade. I see why this is a popular palette if they're bite size. It's very easy, very blendable, just a nice, quick little palette. Alright, so okay. I'm gonna grab my Bella Beauté Shimmer Stay. I love to use a tacky base for any shimmer I ever use. If I don't use this, I use the NYX Glitter Glue. This one's not as sticky as the NYX Glitter Glue, but I definitely enjoy both. It just kind of helps the shimmers not only adhere and help fall out, but it also gives it like an extra pop a lot of times. I'm just kind of blending that in with my finger by patting it across. Alright, now I'm going to go in to the Pick Me Up. No, sorry. The Rose Water palette. Oops, that didn't work. Alright, and then what I want to do is I want to put this dark shimmer here over top that dark brown I just did. But I want to use this E.L.F eyeshadow brush. It's just kind of like a flat dome shape brush. I'm going to try it. If I don't like how this applies, I'll either use my finger or I'll go in with another brush. Alright, I'm just going into that shade. I'm going to take that setting spray because I like to do this as well to help with fallout and spray that brush. Alright, I'm going to put that on the outer part and the inner part of my lid. It's almost like a plummy purplish brown, I guess you'd say, shade. Oh boy. Alright, let's just trust the process. Alright, and then I want to go into this shade right here and put that in the middle. And I'm going to do the same thing. Spray it. And put that in the center of that shade. I wasn't going for a grungy look today, but it looks like I'm coming out with a grungy look today. Alright, so that's it with a brush. I am going to have to fix it. Let me go in with my pinky finger. And I'm going to kind of like reapply right there. to this shimmer here. This is kind of like medium tone, purpley shade. And I'm going to tap it kind of in between the shimmers, just to get a little bit of a gradient between the two. Maybe help it blend a little bit better too. Okay. Now, I think what I want to do is I'm going to go back into that, where did you have that crease brush? Go back into that original neutral shade that I did in the crease, and I'm going to apply it back in above here. Okay, and then I'm going to clean it off, and I'm going to go back into that lighter shade, and I'm going to kind of use it to blend a little bit, I think. Kind of blend this outer edge here, kind of soften it a bit, because it's a bit harsh for my liking. I think I'm going to go in with this shade in the Rosewater palette and kind of use it to help with blending. I think it might work a little better with the purple tone. Just kind of flinging it out a little bit too. I'll probably clean that up though. To be honest, this is not my favorite eye look I've ever done, but it could just be user error with me. Alright, I'm going to repeat this as best I can on the other eye, and I'll be back to do the lower lash line and stuff. Alright, I'm back, and I cleaned it up as best I could. I'm really not loving the eye look. It's not my best, that's for sure. I think I tried to mix the two palettes together instead of just kind of sticking to one color scheme, but I don't know why that one is called Rosewater though, because the tones are not rosy, they're more purpley blue. But yeah, this is the eye look, upper eye look. Let's just try to finish it out on the lower lash line. I'm gonna go in with that dark brown. Let me clean off shaped eyeshadow brush. I would prefer something a little skinnier and flatter, but I don't have that in this set. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't. Alright, so I'm going to go into that I Love You Latte, that dark brown shade. And I'm just going to put that along here. I'm not going all the way across, just from the outer corner to the middle of my lower lash line. To that cooler toned shade, the more neutral shade, and go underneath the whole lash line. I'm going to go back into my Powder Contour palette. I'm going to take this highlighter and I'm just going to go over top that shimmer shade a little bit. Let's see if maybe I can make it a little bit brighter. Not really. I'm just going to take this little like smudgy brush and take that same highlighter and do my inner corner of my eye. Okay. Yeah, I don't really like the eye look. I don't think it's not how the shadows performed, because they are blending. I think I just did a bad color combination. I think I probably shouldn't have put that dark brown underneath first. I should have just went straight in with that shimmer maybe. Or I just don't like that shimmer. I don't know. I'll have to try these again without mixing them and see how I like it, but I'm not loving my eye look today. Let's see. I think I have an eyeliner in here to try. I did have another primer. This is the E.L.F. liquid putty one. I'll set it aside to dry in another video. I also had another brightening concealer that I didn't try, so I'll set that aside as well. Okay, so I have no, that's lip liner. I may not have an eyeliner actually. No, I do not. So no eyeliner today. So let's move to mascaras. I have 2 mascaras to try. I also have a E.L.F. Camo liquid blush that I will try in another video. Oh, wait, hold on. Before I move on to mascara. I forgot I had these little liquid eyeshadows. I have a Duochrome, and then I think this is just a glitter. It's a liquid glitter. You know what? I don't know how this is going to layer over powder, but at this point my eyeshadow is, for lack of a better word, crap looking. So if this can save it, let's see. So this is the Duochrome. What shade are you? Mermazing. So let's just open it. Ooh, looks pretty. Okay, let me find a brush here to apply it. Because I don't want to put it directly on my eye with that powder. I'm going to take this Singe Beauty E.L.F. and I'm going to take off the applicator. I don't really use liquid shadows, honestly hardly ever. So let's just try this out, see how it looks. Okay. Just tapping it over. That middle shade. Okay. Ooh, that's pretty. One of the reasons I typically don't really use liquid shadows is because I have hooded eyes and they always tend to crease on me. I mean, I do think it looks a little better. Not much better, but it does look a little better compared to this eye. Did give it a nice little sparkle. I don't know if I can kind of show the shifts, maybe. Like it goes from like a blue to a green to a purple kind of shift. Very mermaidy color, so I understand why it's called Mermazing. I do think this would be pretty as just like a one and done eyeshadow all over the lid. I'm going to apply it to this eye. I'm amazed it's going right over that powder shimmer pretty easily. I do think I'm going to take my finger and kind of tap it a little bit to help blend it in a little more. Okay, that's a very, very pretty shade. I do want to try it alone or with a different combination of shadows, but I do like it. I do think it's super pretty. Alright, I might try and see if they have any more of these after I use that one kind of on its own and stuff, see how I like it. Let's take the glitter one. This is the shade ombre, I believe it says. And I think I just want to put a little bit of it on the lower lash line, like right here, just to get a little sparkle right there. Let me blend that with a brush. Let me take this little liner brush. it's okay. I do think if like you want to like a glitter liner, like if you were doing a cut crease and you want like a glitter liner, these would be good for that. Maybe all over the lid too, but I definitely like the Duochrome better, or was it a multi-chrome? Duochrome. I definitely like it better. Okay, so let's move on here. I am down to lip products and mascara. So let me grab some things here. Okay, so I have a lip oil. I meant to put that on beforehand. I do like E.L.F's lip oils. They are very hydrating. They feel very nice. So, and this is just a clear one, so it's not like we're missing anything spectacular. But I'm gonna set that aside. Let me grab my eyelash curler. I'm gonna curl my lashes, and I have the E.L.F Lash and Roll and the E.L.F Lash Extender mascaras. And the E.L.F Lash and Roll is supposedly a dupe for the Benefit Roller Lash, which I guess apparently there was like some sort of lawsuit or something. I think I heard it on Jan Love's channel, but I don't think anything ever came of it, or it's still ongoing or something. I can't remember. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Let me know in the comments down below. How do you feel about brands duping other brands? I know there's like a lot of people talking about the MCO Beauty brand, how like they're just straight up copying everything, and I know a lot of people are upset. They're basically saying that it's just stealing the other company's ideas. But I mean, you know, see, E.L.F here has like the dupes and stuff, quite a few, but theirs arguably usually don't look exactly the same as the competitor that they're trying to dupe. Being someone who comes from a lower income background, I don't mind dupe brands, because not everyone, especially in certain economies, can afford to go out and spend so much money on, you know, expensive product, where if they can get something a lot cheaper that does basically the same thing or better sometimes, why not? That being said, I do not think that you should completely copy everything that the brand has done. You know, their packaging is kind of part of who they are. If you want to do it, then come up with your own design, but still, you know, kind of be able to differentiate that, yes, if this is a dupe. I'm going to use the Roller Lash first. I have not used the E.L.F one. I have used the Benefit Roller Lash, and I do like it a lot, so. And I do tend to like these, like, silicone thinner ones. And you guys know I do not have the best lashes, so mascaras are harder to really test on me. But that one definitely gave me length. No mascara. I do like it. I think it's pretty. Let's do the other side. like this mascara. It's definitely gonna go in my drawer with my other mascaras to reach for. It gave it like a bit of a curl too. You guys can see there. Right, it's pretty. Again, I don't have the best lashes, so I want to try. I think I used this once, the lash extender, and I can't remember how I felt about it. So let's just kind of layer it. It does have another like silicone thin one, which are my favorite because I like to be able to use it on my upper and lower lash line. I don't like the big thick hourglass type shapes or figure 8 shapes. I don't like those because I have small eyes, and a lot of times I get it all over my eye trying to use those. Okay. I don't know if I would say this is any better than the other one, but it's just as good. I don't really see much, a lot more lengthening compared to the Lash and Roll one. Okay. But this is kind of like the perfect one for me, or more quote-unquote natural-esque looking for me. Anything that gives me a little bit of lengthening and a little bit of holding the curl that I can use. I'm just going to go ahead and do the lower as well with this one. Not a huge fan of it on the lower lash line because it looks a little spidery. Before I use this on the other side though, let me try the Lash and Roll on the lower lash line. See if I like it better for the lower lash line. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Still not my favorite though. Okay, so I have my lower lashes are longer, so I don't like mascaras, which both of these I think claim to extend the lashes. So definitely more of a upper lash mascara for me. I like something more subdued and more soft looking for my bottom lashes. So I don't like them for my bottom lashes, but I do like it for the top. Now let's move on here. So I have two lip liner choices. I have no, I'm sorry, that is an eyeliner. I did have an eyeliner, so I'll set it to the side for another video. So I have one lip liner. This is in the shade Plum. This is their Love Triangle Lip Filler Liner. And then I have a lipstick in the shade Sugar Plum. I also have an O Face satin lipstick in the shade All Night, which is a black, I believe. And yeah, that is it. Oh, and I have a lip lacquer in the shade Fantasy. So let's just apply the lip liner. This is probably not really going to go with my eye look, but let's go ahead and try it out. has a very unique shape to it. It's not super creamy and it's not super dry. Alright, let's see how I can do this. I'm not used to this shape. It's a little difficult to draw with, just because one end is kind of like thin and tapered, but then it tapers off into like a thicker shape. I don't know. Right now, I don't hate it, but I'd rather have like a thin pencil tip. Let's go in with this lipstick. Oh, it's a good match. Look at that. Excuse my lips, they're a little dry today. Okay, this is a nice and creamy lipstick. It's just that nice, like, berry red tone. Perfect for this time of year, even into Christmas. It's the name, I think, yeah, because I got it in an advent calendar and it's named Sugar Plum, so definitely more berry toned, Christmassy red. Alright. I like that lipstick color. I like the color of the liner as well, and it does go well together. I'm just gonna have to practice with it some more, I think. Yeah, I think that's a pretty shade. I think I want to go over with the gloss though. I'm going to grab a disposable applicator though, because I don't want to get anything on the dough foot. I do this too if I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or not, if I'm going to pass it on to someone in my family and friend group, and I don't use the applicator that comes with it. Alright, let's just put it over top. Well, that's pretty. Oh, it smells nice. It smells very sweet. Ooh, that's pretty. That's a nice combination. I like that. That is the shade Fantasy. I believe I also got this in the advent calendar, if I remember correctly. I've been kind of holding on some of this stuff for this video. And that is really pretty. I like that. I actually really like that lip combo. Alright, so let me go finish getting ready and everything. Oh, but before I do, let's do the Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. Let me test my mascara, make sure it's dry first. I normally try and remember to do this before I do mascara, so my mascara doesn't run, but I forgot. I tend to do that sometimes. I do feel like that Duochrome shadow really saved my eyeshadow look. Because I was not loving it before. Alright, shake it up because it's a bio phase and just alright, it has a bit of a sporadic sprayer on it, so I'm not loving that. But ooh, gave it a nice finish. I like that. My little wonky sponge. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go finish getting dressed and everything for the day, and I will be back to talk about all these products. Alright, hey guys, I'm back, and this is the finished look. Definitely had some items I liked, some items I didn't like, some items that were kind of don't hate but don't love. Let's start out with primers, and I'm only going to talk about the primers that I actually used. Throughout the video I did show you other options and did talk a little bit about ones that I've either already used or plan to use in the future. Alright, so first up we have the Poreless Putty Primer. I have used this several times throughout the past. Like I showed you, there's matte option, luminous option, vitamin C, all that kind of stuff. But this is the original. As you guys can see, I have used it multiple times. I do think it does a very good job of filling in the pores and even kind of like softening my fine lines and wrinkles as well. And it helps with application for the foundations. Goes on nice and smooth. So I do like it quite a bit. The other primer that I used is a Power Grip Primer. This is the original. If you love a good tacky base, I do think this is a really good one. I have not used the one with the niacinamide in it yet. I do own it, but I just haven't used it yet. But I don't know. I mean, I like and I don't like skincare and products. I like to have the option, but I've been noticing a lot of brands have been going more and more and more of putting skincare into their products. The reason why I say I do like and I don't like is because I do have sensitive skin. I do seem to do okay with niacinamide, but as long as I have other options, like they still have the originals and things like that, I'm fine with it. But when they start taking those options away is when I'm not going to like it, if it has something that I could be sensitive to in it. But I do really like the E.L.F. Power Grip Tacky Primer. I think it's good. And then the other one I used is the E.L.F. Halo Glow liquid filter, the dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury. I do like this. I did discuss in the video though that I've owned this in 2 other shades, and within 3 to 6 months they smelled rancid, like rotten eggs. So I am going to keep an eye out with this now that I have used it in 3 to 6 months to see if it does the exact same thing. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it says 6 months on the back. So I believe that was the time frame that it went bad on me. So if you're gonna buy them, it is gonna be one of those things that you really need to use every day to get your money's worth within the 6 months. I love how it looks though. I think it is beautiful. I love using it on its own. I love using it as a glowy primer like I did today. Okay, so next is brows. So I had a couple brow products that I used. So I used the brow crayon. Like I said in the video, I really like the Essence brow wax pen, and I was hoping this would be very similar, and I thought it was going to be when I was first applying it because it did have that same feel. The only thing is, this one is not as strong as the Brow Wax Pen. So it did kind of like start drooping a little bit right after I applied it, whereas the Essence one does not. So unfortunately, it's not as good as that one, but it's just okay. That's one of the products that I'm kind of like, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Then I used their Ultra Precise Brow Pencil in, I believe it was neutral brown. Yes, neutral brown, as well as the gel, tinted gel in the same color, neutral brown. I don't know if it is because it is not the right shade for me. I like a darker shade, and I think that's kind of affecting my opinion with it, because this is just too light for me. Maybe if I was wearing my lighter brown hair wigs, then I'd probably like it. I do think that's why I bought these colors initially, because I did not have those shades in my collection, and I'm pretty sure that's why I bought these in that shade. The pencil, it's an okay pencil. It's not my favorite. I prefer Essence and LA Girls pencils over these. Excuse me. And this one is just, it's not as dry as the Melt Cosmetics one, but it's also not as creamy as I like my pencils. So, excuse me, I'm losing my voice, guys. So this is another one that I'm just kind of like, meh about. Same with the brow gels, nothing like revolutionary or anything like that. Okay, and then the other brow product I used is their new brow laminating gel, and I actually really like this. I didn't think I was going to, because normally I don't like laminating brow gels. Like I told you, I don't like their dupe for the Brow Freeze, their clear one. I don't like it, but this I really like. It's not super sticky, and it's not super stiff. It's just a little stiff, but it's not enough to bother me. Unlike the Melt Cosmetics one that I tried from the mystery makeup, from the mystery bag I got from them, that one is like plastered eyebrows to your face. I do not like that one, but this one I quite enjoy. Alright, next, foundation. So, I told you guys my Holy Grail foundation is the original satin, flawless finish satin foundation in the shade Sand. And I do like their new satin foundation as well. It's a little harder for me to find my shade match in it. I did try the E.L.F. Camo Hydrating CC Cream. Yeah, this one, so I told you guys that I tried the original CC cream that they came out with, and I did not like it. It showed all my texture, it settled into my fine lines, but I thought I would give this one a try because it's hydrating. And it is a little better, but it's still clinging to all my texture. It's still clinging to my fine lines. And like I said, I don't know if maybe because it's a full coverage foundation, and I'm typically not a big full coverage foundation person. I like more of a medium satin finish for my foundations. I think that's why I like both the satin foundations, and I don't care for this one too much. So I will be passing this one along because it's just not for me. I think it's just their CC cream line and the foundations, it's just, I'm not going to bother to try anymore because this is twice now and I just don't like either one. So I know a lot of people love it though, especially within my age range, 40 and above. So I am kind of sad that I don't like it. It's not working for me because it does seem to work well for others. I may ask my mom if maybe she wants to try it because it may work better for her. She may like it more than me. Okay, concealers and like color correctors, right? So I have, let me gather them up here. Where are we? Okay, so I have the Peach Color Corrector. It's not a horrible color corrector, but it's a little too light of a peach for me. I think it would work better for someone with a lighter, more fair skin tone as opposed to me. I like a little bit of a darker peach than this one. So I may pass this on to my sister to see if she wants it, because it would probably work better for her skin tone since she is more fair than I am. Or more, she has a lighter skin tone than I am. I did try out the E.L.F. Camo Concealer, matte finish. I do like it. It has really good coverage. I do see why people compare it to the Tarte Shape Tape, which is one of my favorite concealers. I did, however, get way too light of a shade because I got fair beige, so I do need to get a different shade. But that's why, like, you know, I have super bright under eyes and stuff today, but I do like it. I think it's a good concealer. And then I have the E.L.F. Putty Color Correcting Eye Brightener. I really like this. I normally don't like putty like concealers, but this I think is beautiful. As soon as I put it on, it just made my eyes look way more awake. And I think this is going to go on like my desk for every day for when I want to just kind of slap something on and look more awake. Right, I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to go grab me a water because I'm losing my voice here from all this talking. And then I'll go over some more of the stuff. Alright, hopefully that helps a little bit. So I can kind of push through and get this done. Next, let's talk about bronzer. I really like this bronzer. I've liked it for years. This shade is a little more cool tone. I never really picked up like a deeper shade. This is the shade Tan Lines. But I do like it. I do enjoy it. And I do like all the brushes I used for these products as well. E.L.F. has some pretty good quality brushes. They've improved over the years. I used to use the ones with the white handles. Those were okay, but the ones with the black handles are much better. They're much better quality. Let's see here. We have our liquid blushes and highlights. And I use the Halo Glow ones for all of these. I like these. Like I said, the only thing I don't like is they don't have the locking mechanism. So I will have to keep an eye out that it's not like seeping product out when I'm storing it. But yeah, depending on how they last, I may pick up other shades if they're still in stock with these. Next, let's talk about the powder blushes and contours and highlights. Obviously these are not very universal shades. I did pick up powder contour, and I don't even think it had like a specific, yes it did, light medium. And I will say I did have to mix the two contour shades because this one was too warm and looked muddy on me, and this one is too light, so I did have to mix to meet my skin tone. I did like this kind of banana powder under the eyes. I do like this highlight. I think it's very pretty. Is it my favorite contour palette I've ever bought? No, it is not. I much prefer like my Lunar Beauty, my Physicians Formula, Tarte. Those are more the ones I like. This one's just okay. Like I said, it's another one of the products where it's like I don't love it, but I also don't hate it. The blush I was pleasantly surprised at how pigmented this blush was, because they look very muted in the pans, but they're a lot more pigmented than you think. And I do think this one down here, one of the luminous blushes, was very pretty, because I paired this one and this one together over top the Halo Glow one. So again, nice basic powder blushes. I don't hate it, don't love it. It's just, I mean, it's better than a contour palette, but it's not something I'm wowed by. What else here? Oh, the sunscreen. I'm gonna have to try this out some more, because I don't know if it's where it settled or what. But it is very, very liquid. I mean, it even still sounds very liquidy in here. I don't know if like the oil settles in this or what, but it felt like I was putting straight up coconut oil on my face. Not a fan of that. I much prefer a lotion consistency with this, not oil. So if you guys have used this, can you let me know in the comments if you've had the same problem, or if maybe I got a faulty one? But other than that, I mean, I like how it performed, I guess. I mean, I kind of can't get past that because I don't like the way it feels. It did dry, so it's not like it's still sitting there oily and, you know, messing up my makeup or anything, but I don't like how it applies. What else here? The powder. I like this. Again, I do wish it came in a pressed powder form. I do think it is comparable to my NYX High Glass. I really do. So I do agree with Betty Jean, otherwise known as Betty Bean, about that, because it gives the exact same finish that I get from my NYX High Glass. I just prefer more of a press than a loose. And the two powder puffs, these are a lot thicker than like most powder puffs I have. It took me a little bit to get used to in the moment, but I do think it's nice. Like, this fits very nice underneath the eyes, and I liked this to apply the powder all over my face as well. The eyeshadow primer, I already told you guys, even before I applied it, I don't like it because it's not the type of eye primers I like. That just boils down to personal preference. Like, this is comparable to the Urban Decay Potion Primer, things like that. So if in the color pop, if you like those, you'll like this one. Me, not so much. The eyeshadows, little bite-sized eyeshadows. Like I said in the video, I'm gonna have to try these without pairing them together, because I think I just messed up by trying to pair colors together that really didn't go, because I really did not like my eye look at all before I put the Duochrome over top of it. But performance wise, of like blending and the shimmer showing up, they're decent. The mattes were very blendable in this palette. I mean, it's all mattes. They were very blendable. So I do see why this one is popular. This is the I Love You Latte one. The rose water one had me confused, because when I think rose water, I think rosy tones, but these on my eyes came out more of like a purple berry, or not purple berry, like a purpley plum color. Again, I don't know, maybe that's because I paired it with the dark brown from this underneath. That could be why. But I'll definitely have to use it on its own and use this one on its own. I typically don't like all matte palettes though. That's one reason I paired it, because I love shimmer. That's one of my favorite things of eyeshadow, is the shimmers and the multi-chromes and the duochromes and all that. But quality-wise, they seem pretty good. I think I just messed up with them. what else we have here? We have the sponge. It's a little firmer than the sponges I like. Like I said, it's just a little wonky where it got messed up in my box. But I definitely like a softer sponge compared to this one. The mascaras. I like both the mascaras. Like I said, yeah, I'm not the best to test mascaras on because I have very small, very tiny lashes that just like to point downward. So anything that kind of gives me a little bit of length and a little bit of curl and a little bit of lift and all those good things I like. That being said, I did not like these on the lower lash line. They looked a little more spidery on the lower lash line, and I like something a little more subdued under my lower lash line. But I do like both of them. The lip liner, I like the way it looks, especially paired with the lipstick, which I cannot find now. Oh, there it is. They're a good match, these two together. I forget what they were. This is the plum shade, and this is called Sugar Plum, so it makes sense. It just takes me a little bit to get used to the, it's not applicator, just the shape of it, where it's pointed, but then it tapers out a little thicker. So that was a little hard for me to work with. But I do think in the end, I love the result that it gave me. I'm leaning towards yes with this right now. The lipstick I love. I love this color. It was nice and creamy. Very beautiful shade. Love it. And the lip gloss in Fantasy. Yes, Fantasy. Very pretty over top. I do think it's a very good, like, universal gloss shade that can go over a lot of different colors. I'll definitely have to try it out some more. So, very pretty. And I'm normally not a gloss person. I'm more of like a matte liquid lip person. I'm starting to get more and more into gloss though. The eyeshadow, the liquid eyeshadows. Love the Duochrome in Mermazing. It basically saved my eye look. I pretty much tapped it over the majority of my eye, and it made it look better. So I really like this. I do want to see if they have some more shades, and typically I'm not someone who likes liquid shadows because they crease on me. Let me check that actually. Yeah, it's actually not doing too bad. I have a little bit on this eye, but I think that was how I applied it. The glitter, on the other hand, not my favorite. I put it on the lower lash line. I think if I was someone who did more of like graphic liners or cut creases with like a glitter liner in between, I think this would be more for me. But it's just, I've heard good things about them because I think they were supposed to be like comparable to the Stila ones, but I think I'm just not a glitter eyeshadow person. Maybe I'll try it all over my lid next time and see how I like it. Okay, so I think the only things I have left are setting sprays and then like this little tool here. I like this. I love a good color switch, and I do like the fact that it's kind of compact and I can throw it in my travel stuff. So I do like it. The two setting sprays I used the Makeup Mist and Set. This has been around for a while. It's nice. I like using it. It's just a standard, nothing spectacular, just a standard setting spray, but I do like it. The E.L.F. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. I do like this. Again, it's a biphase, as you guys can see. I think it gave a beautiful dewy finish. And see, I'm someone who I like to layer my setting sprays. So where I am oily combo, I love to set down my makeup with a mattifying setting spray, and then I like to go back over with a dewy setting spray so that I can get the glow back, because I love a good glowy dewy finish. I don't want to look like greasy, but I do love a glowy finish. I just think, in my opinion, it looks more youthful. Alright, so I hope that this video really helped you guys decide, you know, if you're on the fence about some of these products. Again, I'm not telling you what to buy with your own money. You buy whatever you want to buy. I just hope that maybe if we have some similar taste, that this kind of gives you an idea, or if maybe we have a similar skin tone or in similar age range, gives you an idea of how it performs on someone else kind of in your peer group, maybe. Alright, so I think that I have found quite a few products that I like, a few products I don't like, and a few products that is kind of like in between. So all in all, I think it's a pretty good video. If you guys would please like and subscribe down below, it really helps me out and I would appreciate it. Until next time, guys, bye.